I'm Anthony L. Elmore, President and founder of the Proud Black Buddhist World Association. My lecture today is Myoho Renge Kyo is the name of God. That the name of God is Myoho Renge Kyo. It is only when I departed the Japanese Nichiren sects and stopped letting Japanese teachers lead me is when I came to realize the truth about Myoho Renge Kyo. Let it be told that we at the Proud Black Buddhist World Association consider Myoho Renge Kyo the name of God. Now, this is what happened. In my life, I learned that Myoho Renge Kyo, the name of God. See, I first learned Buddhism from the Japanese sects. That is, the SGI, Nichiren Shoshu, and Nichiren Shu. What I did not understand was that these Japanese appropriated the name of God or Myoho Renge Kyo, and they made God or Myoho Renge Kyo Japanese. Now, let me be clear. There is a clear line of demarcation between the Japanese Nichiren Buddhist sects and us at the Proud Black Buddhist World Association. See, Asians hijacked Buddhism and extricated all black Buddhist history, culture, and language from the Buddhist teachings. Now, this is what the father of history, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, writes. Dr. Carter G. Woodson writes, quote, "Those who have no record of what their forefathers have accomplished lose the inspiration which comes from the teachings of biography and history." See, in regards to Buddhism, Asians extricated all black Buddhist history, culture, and language from Buddhist teachings. Consequently, you have black people who study Buddhism from Asians, and they have lost their inspiration that comes from biography and history. In essence, you have people who are dorsal or who are uninspired. Now, the Asians created a culture where black people do not realize the essence and understanding of their own Buddhist potential. Now, in regards to the phrase, Myoho Renge Kyo, the most profound and sacred teachings of the Buddha Shakyamuni, the Japanese and Asians have brought to black people, they've brought black people anger, distrust, hate, fear, and misunderstanding. See, instead of Buddhism being able to encourage people and pull people together, the Japanese have brought a lot of mistrust among black people. One of the worst cases is the fight between the SGI and Nichiren Shoshu and Nichiren Shu, and you have black people who don't speak to each other, don't talk to each other, and they all got these different visions of Buddhism, but none come together in the greatness of Myoho Renge Kyo. Now, specifically, the Nichiren sects, the SGI, Nichiren Shoshu, Nichiren Shu, and others have manipulated the phrase Myoho Renge Kyo for their own gain and personal enrichment. Myoho Renge Kyo should bring people together. Instead, the Japanese use these teachings as a point of contention, and that Japanese teachers do not include the idea of God inclusive of Buddhist teachings. The way that you extricate black Buddhist history is simply give the Sanskrit version. See, the Sanskrit version of Buddhism is when they extricate all black history, culture, and language. Now, please be clear that our incorporating the concept of God into our Buddhist practice is a way that we combat Japanese or Asian cultural imperialism. See, the incorporation of God into religious practice is a black thing. The Gosho Daimoku of the Lotus Sutra reads, quote, "The Lotus Sutra wherein the Buddha honestly discarded expedient means says that one gain interest through faith alone." See, you don't gain entry to Buddhahood through no SGI or through no Nichiren Shoshu or Nichiren Shu. Buddhahood is gained through faith alone, and that faith is in the Lotus Sutra. See, the Gosho, the real aspect of the Gohanzan reads, quote, "The Gohanzan also is found only in the two characters of faith. This is what the sutra means when it states that one can gain entry through faith alone." It also reads, "What is most important is that by chanting Namu Myoho Renge Kyo alone, you can attain Buddhahood. It will no doubt depend on the strength of your faith. To have faith is the basis of Buddhism. Thus, the fourth volume of Concentration and Insight states, quote, "Buddhism is like an ocean that one can only enter with faith," unquote. It goes on further. The fourth volumes of the Annotations on the Great Concentration and Insight explains this. It says, with regard to the phase, Buddhism is like an ocean that one can only enter with faith. Even Confucius taught that faith is first and foremost. How much more so true of the profound doctrines of Buddhism? Without faith, how could one possibly enter? Unquote. See, this is what you must understand, that the Buddha taught that one can attain Buddhahood by chanting Namu Myoho Renge Kyo alone. The Buddha teaches us that one can only attain Buddhahood through faith, and that the title of the Lotus Sutra, or Myoho Renge Kyo, is God. Myo is the same as God. Let me explain. The Gosho, the Daimoku of the Lotus Sutra reads, quote, "Next, the blind eyes of ordinary people were opened, and even then Ichatikas, who had been blind from birth, were able to establish a relationship with the Lotus Sutra that ensured them that their eyes would one day open. All of this was due entirely to the virtue of the single character Myo," unquote. Please understand that the Daimoku is the title of the Lotus Sutra, or Myoho Renge Kyo. It further reads, quote, "Milo says, the reason other sutras are called great, but not Myo, is simply that it is easy to cure those who have a mind, but difficult to cure those who are without a mind. Because it, the Lotus Sutra, can cure what is thought to be incurable, it is called Myo." Oh, wonderful. Does that not sound like a God to you? That's Myo. Now, the Gosho, the Daimoku of the Lotus Sutra, or the title of the Lotus Sutra reads, quote, "This Lotus Sutra, however, can cure the dead as well as the living. Therefore, it has the character Myo in its title, Myoho Renge Kyo. Myo, as you see, is another name for God. What else that you know that can cure the dead as well as the living other than a God? You see, in the Go Show, on attaining Buddhahood in this lifetime reads, quote, "What then does Myo signify? It is the mysterious nature of life from moment to moment, which the mind cannot comprehend or words express. When we look into our own mind at any moment, we perceive neither color nor form to verify that it exists. Yet we still cannot say that it does not exist, for many different thoughts continually occur. The mind cannot be considered either to exist or not to exist. Life is indeed an elusive reality that transcends both words and concepts of existence and non-existence. It is neither existence nor non-existence, yet exhibits the qualities of both." Unquote. Now, the Go Show entity of the mystic law reads, quote, "When the great teacher Nichiren explained the 5 characters Myoho Renge Kyo, he said, quote, "Myo indicates that all living beings are Myo, or mystic. Ho indicates that all living beings are Ho, or low. Renge, or lotus, is a metaphor that's employed here. It would seem then, it not, that both Naye and Tentai interpret the lotus as a metaphor." Now, in the Go Show, the sacred teachings of the Buddha's lifetime reads, quote, "Regarding the words Myoho Renge Kyo, the profound meaning of the Lotus Sutra by Tentai says of the word Myo, the character Myo, or wonderful, is defined as being beyond ordinary comprehension. It also says to reveal the depths of the secret storehouse. This is called Myo, or wonderful. It also says, quote, Myo means the finest of the sutras. It is the doctrine of the gate to sweet dew, or nirvana, and therefore it's called Myo. See, Myo is God." See, the Go Show also reads, "With regard to the word Ho, profound meaning says what is meant by Ho is the 10 worlds, the 10 factors, existences that both provisional and true." And it also says, quote, "To define the proper relationship between the provisional and the true, this is termed Ho, or law." Further, the Go Show reads, "Regarding the word Renge, profound meaning says the word Renge, or lotus blossom, is an analogy for Ho, or existence, that are provisional and true." Unquote. It also says, quote, "To point to the original enlightenment attained by the Buddha in the far distant past, this is compared to Ren, or lotus. To clarify the perfect way of non-duality of provisional and true, this is compared to gate, or blossom." Further it reads, "With regard to the word Kyo, profound meaning says, quote, the voice carries out the work of the Buddha, and this is called Kyo, or sutra." Now, let's see if we can give you a better understanding. Now, the profound meaning sutra says, the voice carries the work of the Buddha. Now, the Go Show Opening the Eyes of Painted Images reads, quote, "A person can know another's mind by listening to the voice. This is because the physical aspect reveals the spiritual aspect. The physical and spiritual, which are one in essence, manifest themselves as two distinct aspects. Thus, the Buddha's mind found expression as written words of the Lotus Sutra. These written words are the Buddha's mind found expression in written words of the Lotus Sutra. These written words are the Buddha's mind in a different form. Therefore, those who read the Lotus Sutra must not regard it as consistent of mere written words, for those words are in themselves the Buddha's mind." Unquote. See, this Gosho further reads, "In this commentary, Tentai uses the term Buddha's mind to indicate that the sutra itself, a physical entity, actually embodies the Buddha's spiritual aspect." Further it reads, "Because the Lotus Sutra manifests the Buddha's spiritual aspect, when one embodies that spiritual aspect in a wooden or painted image possessing 31 features, the image in its entirety becomes a living Buddha." Now, what this is explaining, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Lotus Sutra, when you recite the Lotus Sutra into a physical object, that is like the eye-opening ceremony. That object becomes a living Buddha because the Lotus Sutra represents the spiritual aspect of the Buddha. It is actually the Buddha. Now, in regards to our lives, when we recite the Lotus Sutra or the title of the Lotus Sutra, we are encountering not just simple words, we are encountering the spirit of the Buddha itself. Now, what is the spirit of the Buddha? The spirit of the Buddha is the ultimate spiritual reality. The ultimate spiritual reality is another name for God. So when you chant Myoho Renge Kyo, you are tapping God, or you are calling the name of God, because the spirit of God or the spirit of the Buddha is Myoho Renge Kyo, that was intoned or chanted by Shakyamuni Buddha. Now, the gift of rights reads, quote, "The true path lies in affairs of this world. The Golden Light Sutra states, quote, to have a profound knowledge of this world is itself Buddhism. The Nirvana Sutra states, quote, all non-Buddhist scriptures and writings in society are themselves Buddhist teachings, not non-Buddhist teachings. This means whether it's the Bible, whether it's the Quran, or whatever, it's all Buddhist teachings. And the essence of the Buddhist teachings is in the title, and the title of the ultimate spiritual reality of the Buddhist teachings is Myoho Renge Kyo. Now, the Gosho, Propagation of the Wise, reads, quote, the correct teachings of the time can be propagated only by a person of wisdom. In the Gosho, the sword of good and evil, Nichiren Shonin writes, quote, you must pray to the heavenly gods with all your heart. Now, in the Gosho, concentration, the image of Shakyamuni Buddha reads, quote, now, if we consider what the Buddhist writings have to say, we may note that the Golden Light Sutra states, quote, the God of the sun and the God of the moon, because they listen to this sutra, are able to obtain vitality and abundance. And the Sovereign King Sutra states, quote, through the power of the Sutra King, these luminaries are able to circle the 4 continents. You see, it is the power of the Lotus Sutra that gives these gods power. Now, Nichiren further states, he says, I, Nichiren, have put my trust in this deity, and in this manner have carried on my struggles in Japan over the past several years. Already I have the feeling that I have achieved victory. Such clear blessings can only be attributed to this deity. Now you have Nichiren Shonin, who says his protection comes from a god or a deity. Now, the word namu means reverence. It also means to awaken. It also means devotion. When you chant Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, you are calling the name of God. You are awakening. You are showing reverence and devoting yourself to God. The way to Buddhahood is only through faith. Faith in the Lotus Sutra. In the Lotus Sutra, we read and we learn about the eternal Buddha. The eternal Buddha is Shakyamuni Buddha. And if you want to call him God, you can say God, or you can say the eternal Buddha. I think that we have given you enough. My name is Anthony Elmore, President and founder of the Proud Black Buddhist World Association, teaching you that Myoho Renge Kyo is the name of God. Thank you very much.